Hello, Dividend family. This is yours truly, number one spokesperson or number one interpreter of everyone in this politics. So today, let's interpret for Festus Keyamo. There's this tweet that he just put out saying that earlier today he had submitted a petition to the DSS against Mr. Peter Obi and Dr. Datti Baba-Ahmed to rein them in for their conduct and utterances which border on incitement and treasonable felony. A call for peace and national healing does not amount to weakness, he said. So, in case you don't know Festus Keyamo, let's show you his picture. Yeah, this is Festus Keyamo, seen here showing the number of people that will vote for him if he should ever run for any office in his life. All right, so Keyamo writes this because they are playing a script. They thought after the election, the obedience would protest and be on the street. They were planning for this long time ago. That's why when Balabulu said that, before the election, it's like, oh, there will be noise and protests, and then people will calm down. It was a gaffe that revealed to us the meeting they just had, not quite long from that point, not quite long before that point. They had planned everything, how to rig and everything, and they were like, what if there's protest? What if there's an uprising, an uproar? And they have said, people, angers will calm down and everything will settle and so on and so forth. So they use that to confuse the people they could confuse. And then after the election, it was the PDP that first staged a protest to INEC, and then it was APC that staged a counter protest or another protest to INEC, and Labour Party, the ones they stole from, were calm. They were calm. So let me show you your guy again. This is your guy showing you the number of people that will vote for him if he should run for any post in his life. And that person is himself. So he came up with this because the script they have written was not playing out the way they wanted. P2B and the Labour Party didn't want to play into their hands. So they were really freaking out. They were freaking out, freaking out, freaking out. So let me show you what Peter Obi said, and then we'll try to show you what Baba-Ahmed said, and then we're gonna keep it short. All right, quick one. So Peter Obi says Obi calls for calm amid moves to reclaim mandate. So he calls for calm. If you have watched him, he says, "I will go to court. They have asked me to go to court. I will go to court." Right? But the liars, they will always lie. That's why they're called liars, right? Liars will always lie. Obi says, let it be calm. Don't make any noise. Don't cause any problem. We will go to court, right? Because they asked us to go to court. Let's play what he said, so you can hear from him. While we see looking at our guy, let's find Obi and play what he said to the obedience and to everyone, every Nigerian. Let's watch. Listen.
So let's go there. I'm remember that I'm obedient. I want to tell you, I'm going to go where I'm directed to go. So, and then you will see where and how.
All right, I'm going to stop you here. You can watch the full video on the owner of that channel. So Peter Obi says, they directed me to go to court. I am going to go to court. That's it. There was no incitement. There's nothing about treasonable felony right there. They asked me to go to court. I am going to go to court. And they will meet me there. But they're now trying to spin the needle on his head. Now look at Baba-Ahmed.
Here we have the vice presidential.
I will not play it in full, but let's just find a section where he spoke truth, and he says they shouldn't swear in illegal government.
Simplicity is wisdom, simplicity is knowledge. All right. So that is an interpretation which you are giving. Listen. No, because there are other.
Tell you, the way they are going, disregarding the calls of the people, violating the constitution, let them even go ahead, even if they swear in Tinubu Shetima on 29th of May. They are swearing in an unconstitutional government. Nothing will change it.
All right. So this is what he said. Even if they swear in these guys, their government will be unconstitutional. This is not call for uprising. They didn't say let the people gather and stop them. They say no. Even if you do that, even if you will last for 4 years or for 8 years or for 40 years, it's still an illegal government. You can argue with his premise, but that's not a call for uprising. You can argue with his interpretation of the law, but that doesn't call for an uprising. He says if you go ahead and swear them in, that's your business, but just know it is as illegal as swearing in the military. That's never called for uprising, and that's not a treasonable felony. Okay, I know that um, the Sandalili sometimes wants to let us know that he went through a law school, and so from time to time he would like to quote one of the phrases so we don't think that he has forgotten. So he will say felony because that's one of the things they say, but he forgot that he's talking to intelligent people. When someone says don't do something wrong, that doesn't call for uprising or felony or anything. It just says don't do something wrong. It is wrong. Don't do that. But the thing is, they expected certain things to happen. They already anticipated some reactions from the obedience, but they're not getting it. And they're getting frustrated because right now, Obi is in court with some allegations. Many of them are so huge, I can't even mention all of them. Okay, let me just tell you some of them quickly. Number one was the illegality of Tinubu because he has the drug case on his name, right, in the US, right? He was charged by Chicago and another, I think the DA or DEA. So there's this charge on him, and he had to forfeit $460,000. That was way back then, before even he became governor, I think. So way back then. So for him to have that kind of forfeiture back then, that would be maybe about 1 million or more even now. So that was a huge one. He had to forfeit that because they settled out of court. And then he says that Shetima was not qualified to run at the time because by the time he withdrew from running as a senator, he already accepted his nomination as a vice presidential candidate. So and the rule says you cannot contest for two constituencies at the same time. So that disqualifies him. Then they talked about the rigging that took place, and then talked about the non-compliance with INEC, and so on and so forth. So you can go and read the details online there. So they say for these reasons, they are disqualified. They shouldn't run. And then when you talk about the rigging, where they stole some votes in Lagos, in Plateau, in Benue, in Rivers State, in Imo State, and many other places where they reduced the Labour Party votes. And they were claiming that if they had all this in place, they would have had the majority of the votes. The big one that my friend Datti Ahmed was talking about was the interpretation of Section 134 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, subsection 2, where it says that where there are more than two candidates running for the presidency of the nation, the winner, the person that will be declared the winner, must have won the plurality or the majority of the votes, number one. Number two, must have won 25%, at least 25% in at least two-thirds of the states of the Federation and FCT Abuja. The interpretation there was if the and was inclusive or exclusive. So there was this argument. If that means you would have won two-thirds of 37 states if you're making Abuja a 37th state, or you should have won 24 states out of the 36, and then also got you should have gotten 25% in 24 states and also get 25% in Abuja. That was where the argument was. And we know there was a precedence on this. I think about 12 years ago or so, there was a precedence where I think Buhari was challenging the previous government, and in that there was an interpretation to say that the 25% means you should get 25% in 24 states and also get 25% in Abuja. So the people that were familiar with that, please, we need reference to that judgment because this is important. the Supreme Court thrive on precedence. So there's a precedence on this. And also, before this election, I think on January 17th or 18th, I think it was Olisa Abakoba that wrote the INEC chairman and said, please interpret this section 134, subsection 2, before the election. And that was ignored, and now it is a case. Now, that Ahmed's position is that nobody else except Labour Party got 25% in Abuja. And therefore, there is no elected or there's no president-elect because the other two candidates didn't get 25% in Abuja. And if you give them back the votes that were stolen, they would have won because they also got 25% in Abuja. So this is an argument you can have with him. But this is not anything to do with treason, right? Or incitement, right? So guys, let's take it calm. We are in court already. We were asked to go to court from day one. Remember how INEC snuck into the collation center at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. when everybody else was sleeping and announced the result. And we were told if you have any grievances, go to court. And according to Mr. Peter Obi, we are going to court. So there's no need calling for how do we say it? There's no need calling for them to be arrested.
So let's go there. Remember that I'm obedient. I want to tell you, I'm going to go where I'm directed to go. So, and then you will see where and how. Or just to give you an.
All right, so I'm going to stop it here. So the obedient one says they've directed me to go to court, and I'll go to court and I'll show you where and how, and how the election was stolen. And he is in court. There's no need calling for his arrest. All right, Daniel is come to judgment. Right, I'm going to call it a day here, guys. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let's remain calm. There's no need for protests. Let the law take its course. Let the law take its course. The US is involved now, and many other people are interested. They are looking at Nigeria. Let's not lay ourselves down for this. Let's not kill ourselves. Let's not put ourselves on the path of death for this, because the mandate is coming back. And I want to really thank all obedience, because we've done great this time around. You've done great. Remember, Peter Obi is the first person who came out from a non-majority party and won a governorship election. He did it for ABGA. He has done it again for Labour Party. ABGA was not a majority party in Nigeria, and is not, even now. ABGA had no representative in any place, and Peter Obi came and won. He was taken to court, or he took them to court because they stole his mandate, and he got it back after 3 years. Go and ask Ngige. He got it back, and he has kept Anambra State in ABGA corner till date. Even when he went to PDP, he couldn't even wrest that out of Anambra State anymore. Anambra became entrenched as ABGA, except that under Soludo, we're going to take it away from them, unfortunately, because Soludo is going to be a one-term governor. But that's a different discussion, unless he does well. So let's watch him, because so far he's talking about digging up pipes that were laid down just because a section didn't vote for him. I couldn't believe that I heard. I hope he was just making a joke, because I couldn't believe that. But if he does that, he just confirmed he's going to be a one-term governor. So allegedly. So let's put it that way. Now, Peter Obi did that for ABGA, giving them governorship. Now he came over to Labour Party. In 9 months, he delivers one governor in OT for Abia State, Hure Abians. He delivers 8 senators. He delivers 36 House of Representative members and 60 something, almost 70 state house members. Right? This is huge. This is huge in 9 months. Imagine what happens when we have 3, 4, 5, 10 politicians who run with his rhetoric of issues-based campaign, moving you from consumption to production, showing you statistics, how things can improve. Imagine when we have more than half of politicians running on this kind of platform. Nigeria will be transformed. And that is coming. In the next cycle, you better watch it. So guys, let's comment, like, share, subscribe. No need to protest. We already won. Guys, we already won. I know the big prize is being stolen, but it's going to come back to us. Don't worry about that. We already won. We've done great. Labour Party had no elected officer. According to Soludo, Labour Party was nowhere to be found. Labour Party was, I think he said that APGA was the third majority party in Nigeria because they have one governor. Well, now Labour Party has one governor and 8 senators and 36 federal House members. So let's see what position they are. But this, again, it is not about Labour Party. This is about the obedient movement. This is about the youth movement that started with NSAS, guys. So let's not forget about that. So Peter Obi is just an emblem, a symbol that we're running with right now. Because if he messes up, we park him on the side and we move on. The train moves on. The train moves. All the people that won, we just let them get sworn in and then we'll be on their case. They must deliver. Because this is about building new Nigeria. It's not about a person. This is about building a new Nigeria where all of us will be proud. So if Peter Obi messes up and Datti will pack them on the side, if Oti messes up, we'll pack them on the side and we'll move on. Because we are on this journey to recover Nigeria, to make Nigeria great. All right, we have to make Nigeria great. The giant of Africa must be great. On this note, I call it a day. Like, subscribe, share, comment,